the original one. So if you want to know where the fountainhead of beer is, where it all came from, in the, out of the ground, as it were, like a spring coming out of a mountainside, but instead of water just having beer in it, you have to go to Pilsner, you'll find it there. So the idea is to walk. Obviously I already did 2 kilometres just in airports, and between getting off the bus and getting into the flat, that came to 2.1 kilometres. But then I thought, well, after I've done a bit of language work, I'd better walk a bit. So I can walk for some time, and then what I can do after I've walked for some time is I can have a meal. And then, while I'm having the meal, I can do some more gold listing. I might even find a place I've never been before. Do some gold listing while I'm eating, in between courses. What's the time now? It's actually 7:15, so that's still quite reasonable. It was light, and I could have made a better fist of it, but I wasn't all that bothered knowing that I was going to be coming out in the dark, because, to be frank, it's still before the change in time. But when I next come here to Prague, it'll be after the change in time. It'll already be the old spring forward thing, and I'll be, well, quite apart from the fact that there will be anyway, even astrologically or whatever, nomically, more time, more daylight time. It will also be that extra hour that they do. It's a funny tradition, really. Some countries have given up on the daylight saving that goes on, or the summertime. Some countries still practice it. If you're interested, you can find all about it on Wikipedia. They've got some nice, accurate and very detailed articles about it. These are people that appear to be emerging from the side of the Rudolfinum, which is a classical music repetitorium or something, where they produce the sorts of concerts which tourists like. Namely, the same old, very popular pieces over and over and over again. And maybe 1 or 2 pieces less known, but connected with the Czech Republic, so that people can get a taste of being here. I suppose that in the main they choose a repertoire which is going to be reflective of the history of Prague in as much as possible, but also areas not so far away. And then they just take some general pieces that always go down well with tourists. And people want to go and hear a concert of classical music. So the best concerts that I've ever been to were called Tasty Classics, done by my good friend Richard, who you've seen on this channel a few times, and which you'll see bits of in my earliest films. Some of my earliest films can contain them, like Secret Carol concert and things like that. But Richard kind of found that it was difficult to keep the momentum going. There wasn't all that much interest in it, which is a pity. Difficult to get hotels, businesses all coordinating on it. And if Richard can't do it, then I don't think anybody can. So it was a bit sad. We certainly loved it, my wife and I.